Hey, everyone. Hi. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Alison.
Hey now.
Greg, what are you doing here?
Hey, what do you mean? Alison,
Where'd you come from, Greg?
I came from the world of Childish, and I just want to make sure that your listeners know that you're just as wonderful on the other podcast you do.
What if they don't have kids?
Don't need them. You don't need them. A lot of our listeners actually tell us they don't have kids. We talk about sex.
We talk about all sorts of dirty stuff,
Yeah.
but also parenting stuff.
Yeah, so.
Check out Childish. New episodes every Wednesday, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Maybe I should have tried it next. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Alison, with her good times never end. Alison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Alison's your new best friend.
Hey, everyone. Hi. Hello. Welcome to another exciting episode of Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. This is the second to last Monday show of 2020. I myself am ready to say goodbye and fuck you to 2020. Hoping 2021 will be a little bit better. I'm sitting here with my husband, Daniel. Hello.
Waka waka waka. Hey everybody, it's me, it's Daniel. High energy Daniel.
Okay, so possibly we had a conversation about starting with higher energy.
Wah 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 wah. Hey.
And it seems that you've taken the note. And also, I'm trying to think the best way to do this, because they need to know that not only has this note infiltrated your voice and personality, but it's hit your hair.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna take a picture of your hair and I'm gonna show it to you.
Is my hair on fleek?
It's like it's on fleek.
It's on beak. That is beaker.
It's beyond fleek.
It's beyond fleek.
Okay. Now explain to them what you're looking at.
Do not ever post that picture.
Why?
That is such an ugly picture. Oh my god. I look like Tintin. That
It's your hair.
no.
I've
I was
zoomed
wearing,
into your hair.
For God's sake.
This is amazing.
I forbid you from posting that.
Okay, fine. But you got to tell them what's happening.
Just most of my hair is matted down by my headphones, except a little wisps of hair in the front, like sort of squiggling up to the heavens.
Yes. So, anyway, lots to get to. I want to tell you guys about my passion of late. I have spent so much time, but it's been enjoyable creating my Amazon storefront. I didn't realize that I am an Amazon influencer. I'm verified on Amazon. You can go on there and you can see the reviews I've left products, except I had to hide 2 of them because I was embarrassed about. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Like old ones?
Yeah. Well, I received some rancid lotion and I was like, you know what? I don't normally review. Like, I have judgments about people who frequently review things. And so, but I was pissed.
I've never reviewed anything on Amazon.
Well, I hadn't either until
I've never even given it stars. Nothing.
No, I hadn't either. I don't normally do that. However, I think I was upset that I spent $12 on lotion that arrived and it smelled really terrible.
Well, yeah.
So but I couldn't return it. So I'm like, I am going to leave them is that Wendy making sounds outside as if she wants to be on mic? Let's pause.
Alison's your new best friend.
And we're back. Anyway, you can no longer view my poison pen review of the rancid lotion. However, lest you think that I let those Thanksgiving flavored candy corns get away with being atrocious.
so
that
nasty.
one's still public. But anyway, that's not the point. The point, aside from that, the point is I have now created all these lists and you can go and you can like peruse all of the makeup that I use, the skincare that I use, the podcasting gear that I use. I made lists for baby stuff, kids stuff. I even made Daniel's Corner. And the reason I want to bring that up is because people have had questions. But let me first tell them how to get there. Go to amazon.com/shop/Alison Rosen. So again, that's amazon.com/shop/Alison Rosen. So naturally, I had to make Daniel's Corner, where Daniel gets to put all the stuff he likes. However, he has not had time yet. So I
So you can
he's
go
really
there.
dragging. You can go there and see what
I have not had time.
I mean, just dragging.
Between work and everything else.
Dragging his
But
heels.
you can go there and see what my wife thinks of me.
You are someone who uses dental. I
like-
love it. I really leaned in hard.
If you looked at that and you thought like, okay, I don't know who this person is. Who is this person? You would think of an 80-year-old man.
Why? Because you
No.
use Breathe Right strips, because you use nasal saline gel, because you use like a...
Let's just say it's curated differently than how I would have curated it if I were managing my own brand.
Well, what's wrong with people knowing you have a favorite dental floss? It's my favorite
Well,
as well.
it's a pretty good dental floss.
Yeah, it started with the dental floss.
The dental floss is a solid
Then
recommendation.
it headed into your slippers, both the suede and the leather variety, which you've used and you currently use them. You love them. And then I was like, what else do you use? Oh, yeah. Breathe Right strips, nasal saline gel, the
Breathe
eye
Right
mask.
strips, that's like putting, Band-Aids. It's like,
You always should have put your special
for
Band-Aid.
God's sake, it's like,
There is like a jumbo size, like
it's hardly a recommendation.
a fisherman's tackle box worth of Band-Aids on our bathroom
It's
counter.
like batteries. Like, what does Daniel use? Milk, toilet paper.
Oh, I should put
He
your
uses
butt
a
wipes.
lot of toilet paper. Let's put that.
I should put your special butt wipes.
I mean,
But Daniel, there's a point that I have not gotten to, and maybe I never will, but I intend to. Question, and I've been meaning to ask this of you.
what?
Do the Band-Aids need to be out in the middle of our bathroom counter?
We have nowhere to put them.
You have a whole under sink
Yeah.
storage area.
It's full.
No, it is not.
Well, I need shelves or something because
Yes.
everything's stacked on everything else. Look,
I found amazing shelves for under the sink. I should get you some of those.
I had picked out. We need to get cabinets and storage for the bathroom. I had picked it out, and then you were like, "No, I don't like it," and I'm like, "Fine, pick something out." That was a year and a half ago.
And now I forget why I didn't like what you picked out.
It would have been nice.
I think it looked tippy, and it would tip
It
over
wouldn't
easily,
have-
and it wouldn't fit much.
It would
It
have.
looked like one of those chests that has like teeny tiny
No,
wooden
it
drawers.
wasn't. I went and visited it
online.
at the storage orphanage or the furniture orphanage,
You did not.
and I went out into the playground with it.
You know those things, those chests that have teeny tiny
this
wooden
wasn't that.
drawers, and you open it, and you're
Wait,
like,
did you
and
think?
it goes, hang on,
Did you think the photo was actual size?
and you open it, it goes.
You did. You thought the photo was
And you're
actual
like,
size.
I'm going to put a battery in this one, and I'm going to put a paper clip in that one, and I'll put my bobby pins in that one, and then you're done.
You thought I was picking out doll furniture?
Sweetie, it looked rickety.
No, not at all. It was good. It would have been nice. But here's the thing. I didn't care. I just wanted something. So I was like, fine. Pick out your own furniture. And you know what you did? Jack squat.
I know. And then
Jack fucking squat. And so now you're complaining about things being on the counter or stuff being everywhere. And it's like, yeah, that's what happens when you have nowhere to put anything.
okay.
Well, and by the way,
I
there are
think
these
you'll-
in our console. So we have 2 sinks and then like
Yes, I
some
have
drawers.
some-
We have 3 drawers. Whose stuff is in those drawers?
Well, up till 25 minutes ago, a little bit of your stuff was in the middle one, but I ejected it.
Yes. So I have nowhere to put anything except a medicine cabinet.
You have. Let's move off of this because I'm sure people are like, I don't want to listen to them fight. I could listen to what's happening in my. You know what? Some people live alone and they don't get to listen to their most annoying friends argue. So to them, I say, you're welcome, Tony.
Anyway,
But listen.
well, you were the one
have-
climbing up my ass about the Band-Aids.
You have all that space under your sink that you're not making the most of. That's not the point. The point is this, Daniel, and then we got to get on to other stuff. We have tons of calls from people. We have updates.
The point
things
is,
like
my
that.
list is not my list. It's Allison's list of and a view into her mind of what she thinks of me, which is
Oh, your corner.
right.
Your Amazon corner. Amazon.com/Allison. No, that's not what I meant. Amazon.com/shop/Allison Rosen. But more than one person has reached out to me, Daniel, to say, where's Daniel's pregnancy pillow?
Yeah.
So just to back up, in case anyone has tuned into this one for the first time, and if so, welcome. You must be wondering what you've gotten into. It's not always like this. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's often like this. Daniel sleeps on a body pillow that is marketed for pregnant women, but apparently it's not only for pregnant women.
Well,
And-
I use it.
And I refer to it as his lily pad because at night he's on like a modular platform that takes up a lot of space in the bed. So people want to know why you didn't add that one, though. So, Daniel, let's hear it.
Well, I've only tried one, and it's not great.
What's wrong
So
with
I wouldn't
it?
recommend it. I need to try more and find one that's really good. It's not the fabric is not really comfortable. It's more like I feel
idea?
like this pregnancy pillow thing is in the direction of the best solution, but isn't yet there. And I'm not gonna. I got a cheap one just to see what it felt like to sleep with one, rather than have like 4 or 5 pillows that you're just trying to maneuver around.
You had
all
7
night.
pillows previously. That
Yeah.
was the Quantz method for sleep.
Right, and but it was very uncomfortable. I was never comfortable. I never had a good night's sleep.
It's true. I fell asleep listening to you bitch about our pillows every night.
Right. So I'm getting there. It's like so when I figure out, listen, when I get the right one, you will know. I will make it known. Maybe I'll have
Good
to
to
make
know.
it myself.
Oh my gosh.
I will be the new My Pillow guy.
But
It'll
Daniel-
be my sleep cushion.
But you like anytime I go to your desk, you've got all sorts of industrial junk and tools and things you're molding and wax and silicone and alcohol lamps and like all that stuff could be put in your corner. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, and I will. Honey, I have a full-time job.
I have
Yeah.
frequently
And there's
lengthy job.
I during the week I work all day, and then I'm trying to do things like do Christmas shopping for family members. I'm trying to do childcare. I'm trying to fuck around.
Look,
and,
everything
you know.
you're saying is true for me as well. However, the thing that I think undercuts our whole argument, and we might have to cut this out, we've been averaging like 4 to 5 episodes of Vanderpump Rules each night. We're back, babies. I was super into the show. You were like years
But
ago.
this is at night. Well, I wouldn't be doing a list at night anyway. All work related shit stops at 8.
So anyway, we had stopped watching Vanderpump, and no, that's not what I was going to say. I got super into it, and you would watch it over my shoulder, and you were like, "What the
This
fuck
is
is
at the
this?
beginning.
Yeah, what is this?
This is years ago.
I will never watch this." And then I caught you watching it and giggling, and it was like it was serendipitous the way I happened to catch that on video, and I uploaded
I don't remember
it.
this at all.
Yeah, because I remember Malls thinking it was funny. You laughed at something that one of the Toms said, and then you got into
Oh yeah,
it.
what did he say? That was really funny. This was at like Ariana's birthday
Yes.
or something.
It was something about like I can't be there for your birthday because I have to drive.
I have to like drive a tractor. I'm going to Vegas to drive tractors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so
it's a really good show.
So then you got into it even more than me because I always keep in mind that there's producers and editing, and you're like diagnosing their personality disorders and super into it.
It's. I was thinking about what is the appeal of this show, and I think it's the appeal of any of these shows. Like anyone who gets into a reality show is probably getting to it for the same reasons, which is like it's fascinating to watch people in their social interactions and their psychology and try to like, I don't want to say, yes, there's a judgment aspect to it, but it's like you're almost like a sociologist or a psychologist watching it and saying, okay, who's acting out of line? Like, what is their psychology? What's going on between these people? And for me, like Vanderpump seems to be like the most interesting for some reason. The characters are there's some of them I really like as people, and then there's some of them that are just despicable. And watching, I don't want to get too deep into this because it's sort of ridiculous, but let's just say like years and years ago, a couple of these folks, I had a feeling about what was going on with them. And then I had the opportunity to talk to someone who knows them personally. I'll just say, because who the fuck cares? Like, one of them was Kristen Doty. If you don't watch Vanderpump, like, don't worry. But I feel like there's an issue with her. And who is it, Rachel?
Yeah, Rachel O'Brien has been on my show, has been on both a Monday show and a Thursday show.
So
she's sort of a satellite character.
She's like really good friends with all of them, but chooses not to be on the show. And so she was here, and I don't know why I thought, I was just like off mic. I asked her about Kristen. And I don't know why I thought she'd be totally honest with me or even have like an objective.
She's friends with Kristen.
Yeah, like I don't know why.
She's on the show as Kristen's friend.
I was like, give me the straight scoop about Kristen. Like, I wanted to confirm my suspicion.
Crazy, right?
So sort of. I don't want to reduce her to crazy. I feel like Kristen has got issues that make her someone who wants to sabotage all of her relationships and then is constantly finding herself in extreme agony, and really legitimate pain, not realizing that she's the architect of her misery. And so crazy, like we're all crazy. I have compassion for Kristen, but I feel like there's chaos there that she creates. And Rachel was like, no, she's, da-da-da. And she was very defensive of Kristen, and I felt like such an idiot. And like in hindsight, it was a stupid thing. Like, why would you do that? Why would you ask someone who's a friend of someone else? Like,
because yes, probably not the wisest thing. At the same time, how frequently are you talking to someone in in our own home who happens to be good friends with someone who's a reality show character that you watch?
But this is the thing, and we've talked about this as it relates even to you to a certain degree, but it's like, this is the thing that's crazy about a reality show, which is you're watching a TV show, and these people are characters on a TV show. And so, yes, you understand they're real, and yes, and there's artifice to it, right? Like, we know that some of the stuff is...
You hear the producers sometimes. Right,
like, a lot of the scenarios are fake and da-da-da, but, like, the drama between the people is real. But still, it's TV show, and they're characters, and you talk about them the way you would talk about, like, Tony Soprano or something, right? And so when you see someone who knows them, like... I wasn't talking to her about her friends. I was talking to her about characters on a TV show. Right? Like, I was like, Don Draper is kind of an asshole, right? Like, that's how I was approaching it, which was, it's hard. It's just, we're not built to know how to transition that. And I think that we've talked about how people, there are people who maybe, with anything that they're listening, even if it's a podcast, it's entertainment, and it's hard to sometimes understand that people that you're listening to are real people and not just characters in a drama.
Right, but maybe the response... So that conversation is about, or sort of relates to us talking about the fact that when someone has a judgment or a criticism or just an opinion about me, how I'm living my life because of something I said on the podcast, I tend to take it personally, and yet I feel like I should look at it like, that's great, they're enjoying the show, I'm a character that they're consuming in a way.
Well, you're choosing to make it content.
Exactly. So anyway, though, we fell off the van, and we're going to move on in a second, in case someone listening is like, I don't give a fuck about Vanderpump. We fell off for a few seasons. It got boring
one season.
I don't know. We also had babies and stuff. But now our gateway was Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And then,
which I don't really enjoy, like I enjoy it. That show is more just
that's more of a hate watch.
It is a hate. I fucking hate everything about it. But there's something. I guess there's something entertaining.
Somehow, it's like we started hanging out with the best friend who was always sort of amusing of a guy we slept with, and now we're back in bed with that guy. And so both Daniel and I are like, it's so comforting to jump back in. It's like
being with old friends.
It is like being with old friends. It is so weird how, because I made this point on, I don't know what show. On the Daily Zeitgeist, which will air the same day as this. We've been watching prestige television. We've been watching like the Queen's Gambit, and what was the other one we watched? Something else prestige.
We watched that Nicole Kidman show, The Undoing.
Yes. And they're all good, but it's not this. This is like a confection we can watch each night, and I look forward to it. It's like very weird to be sucked back in so hard.
It's something that it delivers.
Yes, it does. Oh my God. And here's the thing though. What it delivers is just like bitchiness and conflict. Is that what people want to watch all the time? If so, they'll love hearing about our bathroom cabinets.
You know, it's a show where you've got people who have been friends for a long time treating each other poorly, and or like misunderstanding each other, and trying to navigate that stuff, which is something that I don't have anymore. When I was in my 20s and 30s, there was more of that, right? Because you just had a lot of friends and there was a lot of going out and stuff. But now that I've settled into this life where I'm, we've got 2 kids and, we just don't go out. And also there's a fucking global pandemic. There's a little bit like, there's a part of me that's starved of that social drama, and that, we're just going on too much about this, but like, it's, I don't know. It's almost cathartic to watch it.
Good news, Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel and I are going to be guests on a podcast after this, and I was worried that the time wasn't going to line up and we were going to have to cut this short, but we don't have to.
Oh, good.
We can speak at length about this, but let's take a call.
Yeah.
So this one came in the last time we put out a call, and when I listened to it, and I don't normally screen these, but I did go through some. I have heard this one. I felt terrible that we didn't have a chance to play it before. Here we go. Oh, yeah. So if you would like to call into the show and leave a message, the number is 323-553-2331. Again, that is 323-553-2331. And I believe it does spell out something, but I can't remember what it is. Okay.
Hi, Alison and Daniel. I'm Joy from Greenfield, Massachusetts. I'm feeling very fractured lately. I guess that's how I'm doing. I'm okay. Everyone's okay. But it feels really hard. Like, after my firstborn was hard, like, why am I crying? Why is it so hard? And I know this is hard, and that's okay. And it's okay. But I know it'll be okay, but it just feels really hard. And I work in healthcare, and I'm worried that I'm going to expose my kids who are 2 and 5 or their grandparents or something. I guess I just feel really alone, and it feels really good to say that out loud. So thank you. And I guess I'm really scared. It feels good to say that out loud. I haven't done that, so thank you. Also Catholic since birth for the last 39 years. And so now starting to question all of that just in time for Christmas, which is great. So that's beautiful and horrific. And isn't the coolest thing ever. But wow, this was the worst message ever. Did you understand any of it? I'm sorry if you didn't. It's because I drink too much now too. So that's another thing that's great. But again, this was Joy. Thanks. Bye.
Joy.
Ironically named Joy.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
After I heard this, I was like, I wish I could find her on social media and just be like, I'm sending you a hug. First of all, Joy, thank you for remembering to announce your name at the end too. That is the Quant's method for making it so that Daniel can remember your name. Thank you so much for sharing such an honest message with us. I just want to hug you. Of course, even in real life, I wouldn't be able to right now, given the pandemic, but my heart goes out to you. I think a lot of people are feeling how you're feeling, and especially working in healthcare. And even, that came in at the a few weeks ago, and so the numbers are even worse now. I don't know how it is in Greenfield. I can't imagine it's good.
Did she
It's
say
very
she's
scary
feeling
everywhere.
fractured?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally get that. And also, like, she said that she's questioning her Catholicism and that's tough just in time for Christmas. All of that is tough. All of it creates growth, but all of it is fucking tough.
I mean, I have so many questions. Did she say she lives alone with her kids, or does she have a partner?
I don't think I don't know if she said that.
Yeah. I mean, Joy.
I think she was saying she feels really alone.
Yeah, I know, but the question is, does
Yeah.
she feel that way in a relationship or not?
Right.
This has been, well, I mean, we say it all the time, but it's like it's worth just repeating, because I feel like we live in a society that kind of tells us that we have to always be strong and stoic and shoulder our burdens, even though, like, nobody does.
And be positive and have a gratitude list and yada yada yada.
And there's also a temptation to go, other people have it worse, and it's like, of course, other people have it worse. But like, let's just take a second, because I don't think there's probably anybody out there listening right now who has it easy right now.
Mm-mm.
I mean, like, I don't know. I can't even imagine the scenario where someone has it easy. And even if you are someone who, for some reason, like the circumstances of this past year have been really positive for you,
Who is that?
the stress, just the stress of every fucking thing. It's like, it's been relentless. It's been going on for a very long time. And I think the existential anxiety
Threat.
that comes from not feeling like the things that we've had faith in all these years are there to save us anymore is really scary. And, Joy, as someone who works in healthcare, like, you're being asked to do something that is, we sit here and we go, oh, we clap for, at 5 or whatever people used to do. And it's like, we say thank you, whatever, but it's like, yeah, but you don't have a fucking choice. Like, that's your livelihood.
Right.
You're
And
being
I
thrown
think
into
they're
this.
not really getting breaks. I
Yeah,
think it is like way past surge capacity. And then the very legit fear that she might, expose her children or their grandparents. It's like, it is a lot to balance. It's like, it is just a lot to be constantly doing the risk assessment. And I mean, the strain on healthcare workers is so intense.
It's like the way that we as humans, the thing that we need right now more than anything is the one thing we can't have, and that's, I think, maybe the fundamental thing that makes this the most difficult, because it's like,
Which is what?
love and solidarity.
Right.
Like, we as humans need that to live. We need each other. We need community. We need to come together and support each other. And yet we're being asked to stay apart from each other. And so it's like...
And it's not even like everyone's together in spirit. I mean, a lot of people are, but then you have people who don't even believe this is happening.
Well, yes. Although, put that aside. Like, that's something you know about, but it's not in your actual.
It might be in hers,
maybe,
I
yeah.
derailed you. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Knowing that that's going on certainly doesn't help, right? Knowing that there are people out there who are just. But I think that, like, actually, with that, the one way we have of coming together is through like Twitter or social media. But Twitter and social media are two things that actually, by their very design, are kind of promote fracturing us even more. I'll just real quick, and then we can move on. But it's like I've talked about being on Weight Watchers, you know, and I was on Weight Watchers for a couple months, and they have this app. And when I started on it, you were like, "Oh, there's like a whole social aspect of it." I just want to lose some weight, you know. Like, I just want to count the points and just lose weight. I don't need all the business. But I went and I looked on that social part, and it's kind of like a Facebook feed of strangers posting things that you would never see on Instagram, Facebook, any other social media, where it's people being very vulnerable. So it was really interesting. It was people being extremely vulnerable, like posting pictures of themselves that they do not believe are flattering. You know, so it's the opposite of other social media. Like, look at me, I'm really overweight. You know, but then all of the comments are from total fucking strangers, are people sending them love and encouragement. And I know maybe it sounds cheesy, but it was like, oh, this is great. This is so great to see this. Like, it was such a, I don't know, it was like a relief to the soul. It was like my soul just drank a glass of water and has been in the fucking desert for like, I just realized how much everything we're consuming online is like, I don't want to say by design, but by effect, like driving wedges between each other and forcing us to compare ourselves to a fake, better version of other people's lives and just feel bad. And it was nice. So anyway, all of this is a way of saying, like, try if you can to give yourself a break. Don't expect yourself to figure everything out right now. Understand that there is a constant noise in your ears that's very distracting. And if you're someone who can't be creative,
It's Daniel.
Well, if you can't be creative, yeah, it's me, and I won't shut up. If you can't be creative, or if you can't like figure things out, it's because you're stressed.
Yes, we are all living with a stress right now
Yeah.
that we have normalized. So we don't think that it's the reason that we're feeling what we're feeling, but it is.
Yeah, and we love you. We don't know you, but we love you, and you're not alone, even though you feel alone. And you know, there is a light at the end of this tunnel.
Yeah, thank God. She might have even gotten the vaccine by now.
Yeah, but honestly, like it does feel like 2021
is going to be the year.
Like, maybe not the year, but it'll be a better year.
Be the year, Daniel.
Maybe it will.
It's all going to happen in 2021.
I don't know, maybe.
Will I finally cut my hair? Who's to say? There was something I wanted to say, I just want to remind everyone, Weight Watchers is not a sponsor, although I feel like they should be, because I talk so positively about them. But listen, speaking of sponsors and companies who I strongly believe in, if you think you may be depressed or you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious, BetterHelp Online Counseling offers licensed professional therapists who are trained to listen and to help with issues including anxiety, grief, depression, trauma, family conflicts, self-esteem, and more. You simply fill out a questionnaire to help assess your specific needs and then get matched with your counselor in under 48 hours. You can easily schedule secure video or phone sessions, plus exchange unlimited messages to communicate with your therapist at your convenience. Of course, everything you share is confidential, and if for any reason you're unhappy with your counselor, you can request a new one at any time, no additional charge. So let's say you're thinking, I don't know about starting up with someone new right now. What if I don't like them? I don't want to commit. It's not a commitment. They'll get you to the right person. And you can go through as many as you need till you find someone who's the right match. BetterHelp is an affordable option, and our listeners get 10% off your first month with the discount code BESTFRIEND. Get started today at BetterHelp. That's BetterHelp.com/bestfriend, BetterHelp.com/bestfriend. Talk to a therapist online and get help. Let's take another call.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Hi, Alison and Daniel. This is Laura. I just wanted to share some happy news. I may have found my own Daniel on Tinder. We've been talking for a few days, just days, but it's different than any other talking situation that I've ever been in. So I'm very, very happy, and Santa might have come early for me this Christmas. Yet again, this is Laura. Love you guys. Have a Merry Christmas.
Well, that's exciting, Laura.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I owe you a message there, Laura, but I've been busy.
How do you feel about other Daniels in the world?
I'm not thrilled about it. I really if it were possible to trademark your own name, no. Look, that's great. Everyone should find themselves a Daniel.
Daniel of their own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it must be real hard to meet people right now.
Some people are doing it though.
Yeah, but how do you date? How do you...
Right. So you you do a lot of talking online, and then you socially distance, meet outside or something.
Maybe people will actually find more... Maybe there'll be a higher frequency of meaningful relationships because,
I think
you're
it's possible.
Connecting first.
Right.
As opposed to just hopping in the sack.
I think our own Tone Zone had something to say about that. And I forget what it was, but it was something about that meaning, the meaningfulness of it all.
Yeah.
I could be putting words. He might be listening to this when he edits it. He might be like, what? No, that's not what I said.
Yeah. Don't ever put words in Tone Zone's mouth. Learned that lesson the hard way. No, I haven't. Yeah, that's oh God. Yeah.
Can I tell you about a dream I had last night? And I'm now realizing that it's become sort of a recurring dream. So I was traveling with the whole Corolla crew. Afterwards I'll explain the recurring part. And I don't know where we were, somewhere in the middle of the country. Oh, I know. You know what? I think it was, this part was created because we were watching that terrible castle that all the Vanderpump people went to in Versailles, Kentucky. But it's spelled Versailles, but it's pronounced Versailles.
Oh, is that really the name of
Yes.
Oh my God.
Versailles. And then it's this ornate castle. And they were all looking at their rooms. So we were, I don't know, let's say we were going to North Carolina or something. And there were all these different accommodations, sort of like if you were going to a festival, like South by Southwest, and it's where are you going to stay? And there are all these different accommodations. And I was trying to figure out where I was going to stay. And I was not on the show at this point. I had been given the boot, but for some reason I was still there. And I don't know if I'd been fired or if I'd just run afoul of it. I was on Adam's shit list or something. And then I was waiting to find out where I was going to stay, and I expected they were going to have me stay really, really far away. But then I found out that the key core members were staying in someone's house. There was a guest house, not a guest house, but a house, an important central to everything house. And that's where they were putting me. And I was so surprised by that. And then what happened? And it showed that I was still very important to the show, despite what had happened. And then what happened? There was a new joke writer. They had hired it was the new Lynch, the new joke writer. And I asked I was working out something with him, and I asked a question if I just wanted, if we are to go through this on stage, if something were to happen and I were to fill in, I just want to work out how you want me to do this. And they did want, that was a very real possibility. I don't know. It's so, but anyway, the point is, the recurring aspect of the dream is I'm always on semi good terms with Adam in my dreams. I've not had a dream where it's actually been shitty between us. I think I've had one, but usually it's this reunion of sorts between him and me, and there's all this fondness, and other forces ripped us apart, but there's all this fondness between us. And I wake up and I'm like, oh, that's so not like that. But isn't that weird?
Well, it just makes me wonder what like role he has in your psyche, because it's not really about him, right?
No.
So you go, well, what is being represented by Adam Carolla in the dream? What part of you? Because that's all a dream is.
Yeah, I know everyone's you. I don't know. You know, I have wondered.
Some sort of fatherly figure, maybe.
Well, I wondered if he represents my brothers.
Well, no, it would be more like
You tell me what my dream means, please.
I don't know what it means, but I'm telling you how to figure it out.
Okay.
Which is like like you go, well, what does it feel like? What part of it's not your, like when you dream about it's not he represents your brothers. It's what part of your own
Has
self
become estranged
does
from
he-
me that I'm
yeah,
reuniting
like,
with.
So you go. It's hard to articulate, but it's
No, I mean, yeah, okay.
what archetype, like if putting it in Jungian terms, like what is the archetype that he has in your psyche? Like I would think that it has some sort of fatherly kind of, and when you talk about, well, what is the father in you? It's the male, the adult male part of your psyche. It's the king, right? Kind of thing. And so you go like it's you having a relationship with that part of yourself. I know. Listen, folks, this gets highfalutin here.
We've got some therapists who listen. Could you please let
That's
me
how I
know
interpret.
in what
By the
way Daniel
I know I
is
could be wrong, but that way of interpreting dreams has always worked for me. So I'm not trying to suggest that. I know I sound like I'm suggesting that this is the correct way. It's just correct for me.
But I've had plenty of, and I know I'm not. This is tangential.
Careful.
I've had plenty of dreams, both good and bad, where my parents are in them and I'm like fighting with them. And I'm just saying, here's someone where it actually turned awful between us.
Yeah.
But it never turned awful face to face. I think that's part of what it like.
You never had an awful encounter with him.
No, in person. It was all in this real, like surreptitious, virtual way. And so I think maybe sort of like how it's important in a ritualistic way when you're grieving to see the dead body.
Sure.
To know, I mean, there's a reason that we see the dead body. That there's an open casket, or if not an open casket, there's a casket. I mean, not everyone, but there's a reason why you have a ritual. I wonder if part of my psyche has not fully processed that the way it turned dark like that. Because last I saw, we were like taking a selfie together and things were okay, even though I knew on some level it wasn't okay. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws. I really don't know. I just know that like this is now sort of a recurring dream. But also, it also could be, if it is a part of myself, this is not a Jungian analysis of it, but maybe it's like that part of me, because the part that I miss about that show is the like getting to be like lightning quick and witty and on that real high level. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's that part of me still exists. Mm-hmm. I mean, listeners haven't heard it in years, but it still exists somewhere. So I'm reuniting with that.
That's right. Like I would say, like there's a part of yourself that you're a little bit alienated from, and so you're wanting to reconnect with it. And yeah, maybe what Adam is to you is that part of your creative self that you're not getting to like express.
But also, and this is not about him, this is about what my soul yearns for in this world. The idea that I was on the outs, I was on the shit list, but I was still important enough to them that they would house me near them. That's, I think, about an authority figure still loving and valuing you even though they're angry at you, and that's about my parents. That's about the kind of unconditional love that I would like to
It could be about your parents, but it could also be what was that to you, that experience at being with Adam Carolla show. It was a validation, and it was it was a growth phase. Well, but it was like from a creative standpoint, like it was this fun, validating thing, and it's like
at the beginning.
Yeah. And so when you say, oh, they're still housing me, it's like, it's you having an experience in your dream of being reconnecting and welcomed by that. I don't know. What the fucking
I don't know what you're talking about either.
I do know what I'm talking about, but I'm just not articulating it well.
Should we hear a call?
Sure.
Hi, Alison. This is Lisa Murphy-Tate. We've chatted on Twitter a couple times about different things. I just wanted to, I've heard your number go out a couple times, and I've wanted to leave a message, but I'm just now at the point where I can. Just found out today, I found out last week, both my mom and stepdad are positive COVID. So, and I live in a different state than they do. And today, my stepdad, Max, was taken to the hospital. And he's not doing well. I guess he fell on the floor, whatever. I'm an only child, so, being this far away from parents isn't a good thing anyway, but it's twice as hard when they're ill and you can't do anything about it or anything. And they wouldn't take my mom with them to take him to the hospital because she was also positive. She's recovering. She's miraculous. She's a strong survivor woman. So that's what's going on in my life. I had to drop you for a couple months because I had lost my job at Boeing, but fortunately I got another job really quickly, so I'm back in the game with catching all of the good stuff on Patreon. So I want to thank you and Daniel. Daniel, I love listening to you. Anyway, I just want to thank you for having all what you do. You brighten my days at times. So thank you, and love to the kiddos. Bye-bye.
Lisa, I'm so sorry to hear about your mom and stepdad.
Yeah.
I hope they're doing okay. I totally get that feeling of being, and I am actually sort of close to mine, like geographically, but I get it.
Yeah. Well, sending you love, Lisa, and, your family, obviously. Boy, during this time, we've been lucky to be able to, my mom lives in another state, but she can drive out here and, help us. And she's in a strict quarantine and we're in a strict quarantine. So we're able to have some of that. But one of the things that really has become clear is how sad it is that we as a society, just physically move away from each other so much. I mean, my dad was living in Costa Rica for a while, and he said that down there, there's people just live in a home, and then instead of moving out, they just build on to the home. They have these compounds where the family just lives together. Now, I wouldn't want that with any of my family, but I
Not
think
even me.
No. But I'm thinking of adding to the house to get away. But
I don't know.
Having family nearby and having generations interacting with each other, it's so important. And during this time of crisis, when everything's fine and we can all travel easily and it's but it's now that you really feel the lack. You feel like, God, if we were able to, have your
mom move in and take care of our children.
Basically what I'm saying is I wish my mom moved in. She just did my laundry, and it's just I don't say anything because I don't
want her to realize what she's doing.
I don't. So part of me feels like I'm taking advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And now she wouldn't say she is. She's like, no, I'd love to do it, da-da-da. But it's I don't want to be Mom, don't do that. We're asking too much of you. Because I want to take advantage.
Yeah, but unless she's,
but I feel bad, but she doesn't seem to mind.
Unless she's lying, she loves laundry. She brought magic erasers with her because she likes to clean with them. The woman loves to clean, and she also loves to organize. And if any of this is untrue,
I wish she would tell us, because
She claims that
I'm very much on board with taking advantage.
I feel like for all the years that I've known her, she's been offering to do anything around the house that we need. And I've never taken her up on it until I hit a level of desperation when we were moving. And I said, Diane, could you pack my bathroom? And she was like, yes. And then ever since then, it's just been one thing after another. And now she like bought us a spice. It's not a spice rack. Our kitchen counter was cluttered. And I walked out one day and there was this like 2-tier metal organizer on there.
Let's just say she's got skills we don't have.
Yeah, because you married someone who doesn't know how to do any of this homemaking
stuff. She's like Liam Neeson, where it's like she has a very special set of skills.
She knows how to make everything homey, and I don't.
Right.
I don't at all.
I mean, I listen. You know, I very much didn't marry my mother. Some guys marry their mother. I didn't, but I would like to open our marriage.
I did.
You married your dad.
No, I married my mother a little bit.
Oh, what? I don't understand.
Well, you guys are similarly. You guys both manage time in a similar fashion.
Me and your mom?
I see that.
Wait, how's that?
You're both last minute. You both manage it in a way that makes me anxious because it can be very last minute. That's
true. That's more of a you thing, though, in my opinion.
Really? That you're pulling the NXIVM flip on me?
Mm-hmm. NXIVM flip. Is that what they call it?
Yeah. It's where someone's like, it bothers me the way you wait until 5 minutes before to prepare for something. And it's like, let's explore why that bothers you.
That's funny, and I'm fine calling it that, but I feel like that's a tactic that's out that they didn't pioneer.
Like, no, they didn't.
Because I know they do that.
I
know they do that in Scientology. In Scientology, it's also like, what are you so afraid of?
Did you listen to the voicemail of Tom Cruise getting mad at someone?
No, but
I
saw people being very satisfied that he was yelling at people for that.
I saw mixed reactions to it because some people were like, yes, finally. And then other people were saying that like, don't defend Tom Cruise. He's the face of Scientology, and they're like a really harmful organization. And then, it's funny, I could not bring myself to listen to it. I just wanted to read it. That's how I am with a lot of things.
But here's the thing that this is my new thing, which is...
Oh, what's your thing?
You don't have to engage one way or the other. You don't even have to have an opinion. You can just let that thing exist out there and not...
But I have an opinion.
Yeah, I need to know what it is.
But what about your new thing?
That is it. Like just letting that one, I haven't listened to it. I do not care.
Oh, no, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't listened to it. I read it. I do feel that he was just like verbally abusing and excoriating a crew member. And I get it, but he took it like way too far.
Yeah. I mean.
And also at the end of the day, and you as a socialist will appreciate this. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, he was yelling not because of health, but because of capitalism, but because of, I'm on the phone with the insurance company and this and da-da-da. And honestly, why? And by the way, if anyone wants to hire me, reach out to my representation. But while that's not happening, why must they continue to run these sets? Like, I feel everything should be shut down. Everyone should be compensated to make that possible.
Yeah, but they're not being compensated, and so in the absence of it.
Bit.
Well, I mean, I am.
You have a tenderness or an empathy for people like this fuckface in Burbank who's continuing to operate his bar publicly, refuses to comply with the orders. And it's like on Nextdoor, there's these people talking about how there's a line out the door of people not wearing masks and not socially distanced.
I am not defending him. It sickens me that it's become this thing where people, the deniers of COVID are flocking and then creating a public health problem. So no, I'm not defending that. But my anger is not. I'm not angry with those people because I feel like, what are people supposed to do? Like, of course this is going to happen. We have no leadership. The government hasn't done what they needed to do. and they've left people to have to make these horrible decisions. Like if you're a business owner and you've spent your whole career, this is the example I gave you, like you've created this podcast and this living for yourself. And then if someone were to say to you, like, you have to shut it down, and by shutting it down, you will lose everything, and you know you will. Okay, you know. But you have to do it for the greater good. And you think, but I know a way to do it that's safe. Now, you could be wrong, but in your mind, you think that there's a way to do it. Like the person telling you is
That's what he claimed. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying.
That's what he claimed, but actually, he's just having a super spreader event.
That's what's happened. But that may not be what he intended at the beginning. Look,
I think he's a dick.
Okay, I don't want to talk about him. I'm just trying
Well,
to
I've invited him on the show.
I'm trying to make another point.
Okay.
And the other point is that will happen. Like you have thousands and thousands of small businesses, and everybody is going to be faced with this dilemma. And some will have this notion of like, but I can make it work and I don't want to lose everything. And my point is, it shouldn't be coming down to this, that we have enough money. We have enough money to be able to pay people to not have to do this, to give people relief on rent. You don't have to pay rent on your business, your space, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But and then they wouldn't have to make that decision.
I can drunk drive really well. I spent top dollar to get a car that is really safe and really fortified. So I'm fine, and I know I'm not going to hit anyone. Is it okay if I need to, because you don't understand. If I don't get to my house, they need me back at the house.
Right.
And if I don't drive myself to my house, I'm going to lose out on my money.
Awesome. Okay. So let's say
I got to pay my landlord.
Okay. So let's say that scenario you're talking about was across our entire society all at once. And our government had the ability, like really easily had the ability to give everybody free transportation wherever they went that was safe from the bars to their home with no cost to them.
Right. But the real like Les Miserables ethical question here is they're not doing that. So do I drive drunk to pay my landlord?
And what I'm saying is everybody's got a different calculation and different pressures. And I'm not going to sit here and waste my emotional energy judging people. I don't think that guy is doing the right thing. Yeah. That's what I think. But I'm not in a position really to judge him because I don't know everything that's gone into his head. And at the end of the day, it shouldn't be this. This shouldn't be the choice that people are having to make. When you don't step in and help people, when people are facing eviction, when people are facing the loss of their livelihoods, they're going to make desperate choices, and they're going to make bad choices, and they're going to be stupid, because they're going to try to thread that needle. And you can go ahead and judge them, and that's fine. I'm not saying you're wrong to do that. But my anger is at the fact that we're even in the situation in the first place where they're having to do that.
I don't disagree with you, but I do have anger for people who are continuing to operate in a way that is endangering people because people are dying. Not death, but speaking of, I just want to give an update. I mentioned that our beloved nanny was in the hospital with COVID, super sick. I found out she got discharged.
We don't know the details of how she's doing.
Well, she's out of the hospital.
She's not in the hospital, but we don't know.
She was taken to another state by a relative because she needs like round-the-clock care.
So she could have chronic problems. We don't know.
Yeah, it sounds bleak now.
Well, we don't know if they're chronic. Like she could be just recovering.
I don't know. Yes, I don't know. My understanding is anyone who's been in the hospital and gets out, like they're not doing anything for a couple months. They can't even walk around the block.
Right.
I still haven't talked to her.
I know it's been really. It's been.
And Elliot is starting to ask a lot and talk about her a lot. So
yeah, I
just hope we hear from her soon. But I'm just relieved that she's not in the hospital anymore.
I mean, we're at 0% capacity right now at the ICUs here in Los Angeles.
There's people who don't even believe that, and I'm sorry to go in this like gross direction.
Well, they're wrong.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's it. I was getting frustrated. I was getting frustrated with like, there's all these people who don't believe it's true, think and then I was just thinking like, why why does it bother me that there's people who have different beliefs than me? Like, let them have an erroneous belief.
Well,
It's not my job to change their mind.
Well, it's like people believe the Earth is flat, and it's like, what are you going to do? Like, okay, you believe the Earth is flat. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I don't
whatever.
know why I get
like
sucked in.
If there are people there are things that we know are true, and I'm not going to waste my time arguing facts.
Right.
Like, okay, you don't believe that, fine, whatever. So yeah, it's like you've got people like your former employer who are out there saying like, well, the percentage of people who die from this is low, and so therefore I think this is. I actually have read all of his tweets and have no idea what his actual argument is.
I know,
but except just to call people pussies, but which is not an argument. But okay, so like, I'm trying to steal his argument a little bit. Like maybe what he's saying is that like the actual rate, the odds of contracting it and dying are so low that it's not worth closing our economy over. I think that might be what he's getting at. And it's like, yeah, that's true until the ICUs.
yeah,
And that's the problem. That's been the problem. We don't have capacity because we don't have a public health care. Because
right. So now, if someone non-COVID, for a non-COVID reason, needs
when we have a for-profit healthcare system, then we have only we only have the capacity for what we need in an average year. Otherwise, it's wasted money, and so then you don't have. You're not prepared for a pandemic. That's what we have. And so now that we're at 0% capacity, God forbid anything happened to us and you have to go to the ICU because there is no room. Right. And so then your death rate starts to go up.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. So it's really scary. But hey, it's Christmas.
Oh, yeah. They will actually. No, this is a Monday show. I was going to say they'll be hearing this on Christmas Day, but Christmas is a Friday.
Christmas is coming up.
That's right.
And we're going to go see Elf on a Shelf on Sunday.
That's right.
Which is a drive-through experience.
When they hear this, we will have just seen it. You know what I'm concerned about?
Okay.
It wouldn't be the worst thing, but I feel like, because it's in Pomona, right?
Yes.
By the time we get there, both our kids will be asleep in their car seats. It could happen.
It could happen.
Because driving tends to either make them throw up or fall asleep.
Can we talk about the challenge of having presents delivered to the house?
Oh, my God. Yes.
This has been... So, we can't go shopping, really. I mean, you can, but we can't.
have not.
We won't. Too many at-risks folks in our family to take the risk. So that means everything has to get delivered. But the problem is that Elliot has like supersonic hearing.
He loves packages. Like even before Christmas, anytime anything was delivered, he's like, a package.
Yeah. And so it's like he'll come running and something's like that, and then he wants to open it immediately.
Right.
And so we tried for a little while to be like, oh, it's a present. And he seemed for a little while to be okay with it.
There was a small window.
And during that window, I was anticipating Christmas being a nightmare scenario. Like, I do not know how we are going to get presents in here without him knowing. And so I was like looking into P.O. boxes or something.
Now, we need to explain, because people have sent stuff to our P.O. box.
Yeah,
we have a P.O. box. It is across town.
It is far away. It's like an hour drive.
Yes. So, in fact, Lee Bruns, I need to go get the thing that you sent, because I don't need to keep it a secret. He has a 3D printer, and he made an ARIY MBF nightlight.
Oh, that is so cool.
It's so cool. So I need to go get that. I think that's there right now, because I got a note saying we have one. So the question is, why don't we just use that?
I mean, we thought about it.
We could have. It's just that then it's just across town.
It's not just across town either. It's like in the middle of LA, and so there's no easy drive.
Yeah. It's just a pain in the ass to get there.
It's a difficult drive.
So if we were to do that, we would have to like go, we don't want to have to keep going back and forth. We'd have to go get all of them on one day.
I was looking into P.O. boxes near here, and they're not cheap, but I was like, it's a solution.
Yeah.
Right? Like okay. But then I was like, well, he was kind of okay with us saying it's a present, and you know what? This is maybe we can make it work. So I decided not to.
Also, just the idea of having to go to a place right now is sort of
and then there's the fact that we really don't want to take any risk at all.
Yeah, we're trying to minimize.
We are, yes. And no, we're not pussies hiding under our bed, Adam. We have people in our lives we give a shit about.
High risk, yeah.
Okay? So I guess maybe that makes me a puss. I don't know.
I would love to hide under my bed. Well, under the covers. On top of my
Yeah.
bed, under the covers.
So okay. This thing did not last with Elliot, and the other day a package delivered that was a present for him, and he saw it before I was able to, like, because you'll get a text message and you can, what I was trying to do was go out the back door, go around the side, get it from the front before he had a chance to notice, bring it back, put it in the studio. But he had seen it. And so then for the next 3 hours, it was like, oh, I want it. And then, and it's like, okay, well, Elliot, got to wait for Christmas, but I want it now, and just, not doing justice to how relentless.
Yeah.
And,
on the verge of tears. Manipulative tears, but tears nonetheless.
Not on the verge of, he was.
Yeah.
So we resolved that. I won't get into the nitty gritty, but.
Because it makes us look like the total pushovers.
Well, we gave him something else, a little something, and it just sort of, whatever.
But it made me realize why. It made me realize, because I don't want to I'm not leaning too hard into Santa, although in moments I am. There's no way a child. As an adult, it's hard. There's no way a 3-year-old can know there's a room full of presents that he doesn't get to have until someday.
They
cannot.
They literally do not have. Their brain has not developed the frontal lobe yet, or what? Is that the frontal lobe or the frontal cortex? Whatever it is, the part of your brain that can delay gratification,
right?
That can manage that stuff. They don't have it. It's not so. Knowing that there's a room full of presents, and he has to wait till Christmas. No fucking way.
No, it makes me understand why you have to say oh, Santa's bringing them.
Right. They're not here yet, but he knows they're fucking here now. So,
do you know I found my mom's hiding place when I was a kid, and it was so incredible to be because I really wanted these roller skates, and I saw them, and I still remember what the box looked like. It was the most 80s thing ever. I was so excited.
I remember, I think it was a friend of mine. I was at his apartment as a kid, and he had a present, and he peeled the side of it open and looked, and it was a Battlestar Galactica ship. This is the old Battlestar Galactica because I'm an old man, and his mom clearly saw that he had done that, and I think he couldn't have it or something. It was really awful.
Was that Matt?
No. This is a different friend. This might have been Tate.
That makes me feel bad for him.
Yeah.
You got to go easy on kids.
It's so fucking hard. He should have known better, though.
Mush
we
brains.
were 25.
Okay.
But yeah, so now what I've done, I'll just get to the end.
Yeah.
Is
thank you.
I put a sign on the door.
Oh yeah.
That said, please deliver packages around the side behind the gate, and then next to that, and please take some candy
and water.
I have a bowl
Thank
full
you.
of candy and Chex Mix packets and some water, and thank you, whatever. And then on the side of the house, there's an arrow to show them where to go, and then a gate, and then I put a big piece of plywood in to block the view from the backyard. It is a whole fucking thing. I even thought of putting a
Goldbergian situation,
a camera, because we have an extra Ring camera, so that I could see if packages are there.
Oh, you should.
Yeah.
And then Elliot asked what the sign said, and we said they say
please
have
take some candy
and water.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because we don't want him to know that there's another area.
But it's a pretty good solution so far. Till all of our packages and candy and water get stolen, and Chex Mix.
Yeah.
That Chex Mix is addicting. I didn't think I was that into
very
it.
good.
But then your mom was giving some to Owen, which was the cutest thing ever. And then there was just a big bag of it sitting there. And then I had a little bit, and I was like, oh, this is quite good.
There are a few things I've become addicted to that I had to stop buying cashews because I was eating the shit out of cashews.
Wait, hang on. I think we should have a special thing we play for Daniel's addictions. Do you feel like this is going to be recurring?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe we just do snack chat here. No, I think it should be.
Well, I have some things I want to become addicted to, so.
Okay, let me just make a note. It's a note that everyone can sit there while I make it.
All right. Well, anyway, so I had
Here,
to stop.
Tony, I think we need to make, not for this episode because that's crazy, no warning, but going forward, could you make a little fun thing for Daniel's addictions? And in lieu of that, I'll just sing one. Daniel's addictions.
Catchy. Popcorners.
Yeah.
It's like a chip made out of popcorn. And they have like a kettle corn flavored one. And oh my God, I cannot fucking stop eating these things. I will sit down a whole big ass bag and just eat the whole bag.
Yeah. Because they're light and they feel like nothing, but calorically they're more than nothing.
I thought at first it was like rice cakes and that I was getting away with murder.
Yeah.
And then I realized that no.
They're just like potato chips.
They're just the same as potato
Yeah.
chips. But they're so fucking good.
Addiction.
Okay.
What's your next one?
Well, just the cashews and that.
Oh, yeah. I too had to declare a nut moratorium.
Yeah. Of course, everything that you want to eat a lot of is whatever.
And we're going to have apparently we're going to have a Daniel's Cool Beans next week.
Sure.
We're going to close out 2020 with a Cool Beans. Might we get a bean preview?
No. I might make Cuban black beans. It'd be a recipe. Is this a segment me reviewing things I make or prepackaged things people could get at the grocery store? What is
It's about the bean. So, have you already done black beans?
So I'm reviewing the bean itself, not the
bean dish. Really, honey, it can be whatever you want. It's Daniel's Cool Beans. It's not Alison's Cool Beans.
Well, that's what I thought until I got the notes from my last Cool Beans.
What were they? Again, the notes?
You felt I didn't focus on the beans. Right?
I can't remember. That sounds like me. Look,
You weren't thrilled with chapter 2 of Daniel's Cool Beans reviews.
Oh yeah, I felt like there wasn't enough bean chat. People tune in for the beans. Daniel ropes.
See, I thought it was just a big gag that I'm like, oh, well, who would review beans? This is ridiculous. But in actual fact, Alison was very sincerely into bean reviews.
If you're not going to commit, what's the point? You eat 1 million beans.
I've had fewer beans recently.
I know. But you were like hitting the beans hard. And it seemed at the time like just tailor-made for you to talk about beans.
There's only so much talk that one can do about beans.
Well, not with that attitude. I mean, with that attitude, sure.
You know that thing?
You got to fall in love with them all over again.
You know that thing where people say, like, don't be too good at the thing you don't want to do in a job, because then you'll end up having to do that.
That's everything I ask you to do every week.
That's my life, which is like, you asked me to write a beans review. I wrote it. You thought that was funny.
It was
and now
amazing.
I'm roped into having to do a beans review all the time. And when I try to like figure out a way to do it that's different, I know it's like I should have sucked the first time is what I'm saying.
Honey, you do whatever you want as long as you do one.
Because I want to review Tomorrowland at Disneyland.
Do that.
But that's not a beans review.
But it could be
They
Daniel's
don't make
Cool Rides.
Tomorrowland beans.
Do you have a lot to say about Tomorrowland?
Yeah, I got a lot to say about
Okay,
Tomorrowland.
do you want to do that next week?
I don't know what I want to do next week,
Well,
honey.
maybe you'll do that.
You know, who knows? A week away, maybe I'll want to do something else. So I guess we'll just have to wait. Maybe I'll want to review beans.
I can't wait to find out. Listen, it's been real. It's been real fun. If you're not signed up for Patreon, what are you doing? All sorts of fun stuff. Bonus episodes every week, with a few exceptions. Zoom parties, behind the scenes content. It's where all the fun is happening. You can sign up for a year, you get an annual subscription, and you get 2 months free. So 12 months for the price of 10 if you do annual. or you can do it monthly. Patreon.com/Alison Rosen. Remember to shop my Amazon store. Go see what Daniel's into as I see it. Amazon.com/shop/Alison Rosen. Please, please, please review the show if you like it. We need those reviews. It helps out the show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever you listen on. Apple Podcasts especially is great. Make sure you're make sure you're subscribed. Tell a friend. Listen to Childish. I love you. Daniel, anything?
Not really. You can follow me if you want at Daniel Quantz, Twitter and Instagram.
Great. And thank you for calling in, you guys. Hugs to everyone. I love you. You matter. Check out my YouTube, youtube.com/Alison Rosen. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen Show?